Alright, 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 alright. Okay, grabbing this mic again, feeling like complete shit. Life is something else. Life is stress ball and I fucking have, and I hate life. Fuck all you niggas. But not really. Hey, what's guys? I'm grabbing this mic again, one more time again. What's up? What's up? Trying to cheer myself up from trying to deal with life and whatnot, but I'm not gonna go into that right now. But I'm grabbing this mic again, one more time again. I don't know why I'm talking like that, but to talk about some news that's going on. Not really like anything bad or whatnot, but just like revealing news and whatnot that's going on in the Pokemon community. Around two new games that's going to be coming out called Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, which are not really. I don't know why I was going to say remix, not remix, but they're continuations to the story of Sun and Moon, the seventh gen games that came out around almost around the same time that Pokemon Sun and Moon is going to, or like Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon is going to come out this year. I actually can't remember when. I think it was around like October or November or something like that. But yeah, we got a brand new LYCANROC form called Dust LYCANROC, and it is a bit lackluster, to say the least. To say the least. Even though there's been at least a good few other people that have made different comparisons to the new LYCANROC form, because pretty much what we got was like Dust LYCANROC looks just like Midday LYCANROC, but the only differences between Dusk and Midday is that Dusk has Midday's body, but it looks like it has Midnight's hair, and it just has orange fur. But also it got Midnight's eyes and whatnot, like the green and the red eyes. And then I've seen so many examples of people just like, I'm looking at some of these pictures right now, and so many people are just like just upset, and not upset, but it's like they're some are mad, some are upset, some are just laughing, and some are even sleeping on these shits and whatnot. Because I know people like Sega Fire Negro. I came across a little reaction because him along with Shofu and a few other people in the Pokemon community wasn't really too happy or excited about it, and even calling the new form just trash and whatnot because of the it's kind of original, but it's like they could have did this a whole lot better. Like, a whole lot of people do know why and whatnot, but right now I'm just reading the tweet that started from Sega Fire Nickel tweeted out, "Y'all really excited about this trash ass LYCANROC form?" And then LMAO, not this ass off, and then Nappy, the King Nappy, another big person in the Pokemon community, said, "Let people live, Nicholas." And then Sacred said, "I'm asleep." I'm asleep. I'm asleep on him, bro. Sleeping. He's not asleep, but he's sleeping. And then a few other people, like even some artists and just some actual like consumers of the product were saying, because I came across another tweet that said, as an artist, I'm kind of disappointed they couldn't mix the two LYCANROC better than just a recolor of Midday with Midnight's hair. Because honestly, because if you put them side by side, it does like honestly Dust just looks like a cousin of Midnight. It's kind of crazy. And then another tweet that said, "If you showed me LYCANROC Midday then Dusk without prior contents, I would have thought the latter was a shiny instead of a new form. That's bad." And one for Proto Mario saying, "LYCANROC's new form, that's just the sun from eating too many carrots." And then a few like laughing emojis, "No, for real." Then a few like I can't. I don't know what that emotion is, but you can see him on the screen. And he said, "No, for real." Then with a sad I don't know, was that tasty? Than a just uninterested like face and whatnot. And then other people were just making fun of the form, how it just looks like pretty much just like a whole lot of people referring to it as like a recolor of Midday. Like I said previously, another tweet that said, "My man copped that Trump deluxe spa treatment, orange spray tan, and a wig on his back." Another one saying, "New LYCANROC made me realize," and in this tweet, as you guys can see, it has each of the LYCANROC forms to like reference to like a Dorito flavor. Like for Midday, it was cool. What does that say? Cool original. I never heard of any of these flavors, but and then Midnight is chilled heat wave, and then Dusk is Diablo, and each of the bags is blue, orange, and red and whatnot. And then another joke one from Hoodlum Scrafty, which is also another person kind of big in the Pokemon community. He posted. I'll just let that shit speak for itself. But yeah, he posted this picture, and it looks like a kind of like a MLG hood woke fucking LYCANROC. It's fucking crazy. But then kind of moving on to like some more serious stuff. I know how Shofu was talking about, and then Shofu was kind of like joking on his end too when it got introduced, of how like he wanted to look what we got, and like just talking about it as well. And then a guy by the name of Mr. Marshadow, I'm thinking he recolored it himself, but he actually he actually like did this picture and showed what he would want in Dusk LYCANROC, or how Dawn LYCANROC would look. And then Shofu quoted his tweet and said, I wouldn't actually be mad about this, because it actually does look like a mix between the two. And that was supposed to be another thing too. It was supposed to be like Dusk form was supposed to be a mix between Midday and Midnight, because you know Dusk, and both Dusk and Dawn is like the connector from day and night. Then we also have some artists just, and then some of those more like Pokemon fans are not really being like critical of the series and whatnot. Just kind of like some good fans that don't really like care all that much. They just saw it as an opportunity to draw some more like mons from their favorite series and whatnot. And then we got a few series of tweets from actually Game Boy Luke, which is another big person in the Pokemon community. I'm sure you guys have heard of him if you know even Shofu and Nappy. I'm sure you guys have heard of him. But how do I do this? Okay. Luke said, "Giving your thoughts on the internet is dumb. If you disagree, apparently you're ungrateful because people don't see me make a Pokemon game." And that original tweet was from right after Dusk LYCANROC got released. A bunch of people, and I mean, well, as I was saying throughout this entire recording and whatnot, a whole bunch of people was just disappointed with LYCANROC, and just like Nappy was as well in his video. But a whole lot of people was just disappointed with its design because it looked really lazy. They didn't really try too much with it, and it's like it just seemed like a copy paste and then a recolor and whatnot. So that's where it then it's like it was either like this Nintendo fanboys or Nintendo drones, as a whole lot of people like to call it. Like whenever Luke would give his opinion, or Nappy give his opinion, or Shofu give his opinion, or anybody else that just wasn't really, they're just showing like kind of like bad, kind of like negative, not really good opinions. I don't want to say that, but just like opinions that didn't sit right with the Nintendo drones and whatnot. They would say, "Oh, you don't make a Pokemon game, so how would you know?" Or "You don't create this and that, so how would you know?" Or it's like, "You don't put, like, you haven't made a Pokemon game so don't criticize it, or just different arguments like that. And then Luke came, and then like I said, Luke came on and said, "Giving your thoughts on the internet is dumb. If you disagree, apparently you're ungrateful and blah 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 blah." Then Luke said, "Dumb argument. I am a consumer and have been for years. I can express my opinion and still be excited for the game. I just know they can do better. Is all." And that's pretty much like where I'm coming from. Where even people like Shofu, Nappy, Luke, Sacred, and a few other people was just showing like they're kind of like disinterest or disapproval in it. It wasn't because like they hated it or they was just straight up mocking it, but it was the whole thing. They understood why Dust Like a Rock has the design that it does, but they was just more disappointed in the fact that they was just more disappointed than anything else because they know they could have did better. Instead of just giving us potential, like essentially just midday with with orange fur instead of beige fur, and like a rock and midnight's like a rock's hair onto this dusk form. And that's pretty much where how everybody like was on it and whatnot. Some people will be more praising of it, some being more against it and all that and whatnot. And pretty much that's how I feel about it as well. And I think honestly, I feel like honestly because if you look at midday, it looks just like like full on feral on all fours and whatnot. But then you look at midnight, he looks creepy or just on his hind legs and whatnot, kind of looking like a werewolf or something like that. And I think if they really wanted to mix, they should have definitely gave it a new design and made. I feel like ultimately made like dusk into kind of like an anthropomorphic like form of it or whatnot, because midday is already on all fours. Midnight, I feel like he's more so feral, but he is on two legs, and I feel like just to kind of like get what they was like wanted to portray and convey and whatnot, they should have went with like a full on anthropomorphic design. And I feel like that would have just been better. Really, truly, is just in the long run for them if they put, and that's just like a suggestion for me. I haven't really seen anybody else talking about how it would have been or should have been kind of like a full anthropomorphic form and whatnot, like standing on its hind legs, looking like it has hands, fingers, moving around kind of like a human. Well, you guys know what anthropomorphic means and whatnot, or if you don't, then I'll put something on the screen maybe if I don't forget. But yeah, I think I talked about everything that I want to talk about when it concerns Dusk Form LYCANROC and the news around that. It's not exactly, I was gonna say new news, but the news is about two and a half weeks old at this point. And like I said at the beginning of my video, I kind of don't give a fuck because shit has been going on like IRL, and I had to prioritize, and I couldn't talk about the shit when like initially. So blah, fuck it. For any of you that still care or that still is watching the video up till this point, but yeah, fuck it. Better late than never, as I always say. But yeah, thank you to everyone that has watched my video and just watched through all this little time that I spent talking about the little like kind of controversy, not really, but just talking / controversy around Dusk Form LYCANROC and what we got in the form and whatnot. But thank you again so much for watching. This has been SMS to Miracle, and I will catch you guys in the next video.